G'day everyone, welcome home and you're watching Campy Mates. Today we're going to talk about my DIY 12 volt system. So I think when it's come to full driving and touring, I think one of the first mod that you have to do is building your 12 volt system, because that will give you ability to go off-road and camp somewhere where there is no power. So that's where I'm coming from. That's where I made this power unit. This is not actually the power unit. This is the circuitry and the distribution stuff and the charging. And I have a lithium-ion battery in my car. And I'm going to run you through about this particular product, the way I created where I've got all the products and stuff like that. But I'm not going to run you through the circuitry because it's sort of a bit sensitive, I guess, because if you get it wrong, you're burning the car down, buddy. So I'm not going to go through the circuitry and all the blueprint stuff like that, but I'm going to tell you how I made it so you can sort of get a idea, inspiration for your project. This one particularly built it to remove it and put it in another car. It's easy to use and it's very compact, not quite lightweight. We will find out actually how much it's weight. Alright, that's out of the way. Let's get into it. Alright, so speaking of the weight, I'm going to measure this sucker out real quickly. Gonna zero it out. Alright, here we go. It's 5.6 kilos on the dot. 5.6, yes. Alright, so 5.6 kilos. Not too bad, huh? If I explain what's the reason behind creating something like this is, to be honest with you, I have a Nissan X-Trail with me, and I'll be upgrading into another car maybe in a couple of years to another car. So I'm not really stand still on one particular car. I need to have the what do you call it? The versatility of a removable 12 volt system. Hence why I created this. So actually you can buy some stuff like this off the shelves. There is many different brands out in the market that's actually produced something like this pre-wired and all that stuff for a pretty affordable price. And I recommend you to go ahead and buy one of those if you can't really bother to doing something DIY. Because simply creating something custom takes way a lot effort and time and to design everything and put everything together, and it's just a whole lot of ball game. It's way more easier to buy someone actually else, put time into it and design it and put it on the shelves. I reckon that's a good idea. But in my case, I have the ability to make it and the knowledge, so I went ahead and created this 12 volt system. It's very satisfying, to be honest, if you create something for yourself and you know what's going inside, and if something goes wrong, it's pretty easy to diagnose. And you can't really buy whatever you want. What that means is, if you have some sort of a particular needs, you can't really buy it off the shelves. You have to make it by yourself. So that's where I'm coming in with this. That's where I made it. It's way more easier to buy off the shelves and satisfied with that, other than creating something super custom from, yeah, you get the point. But again, if you have the enthusiasm and if you have the skills and if you know about 12 volts, 12 volts actually not that easy, not that hard. It's easy. It's the fabrication and laying out to a safe manner is the hard part. Anyways, let me walk you through what's actually happening here. So first thing first, let's talk about the charger. So this is the device that takes the power from your starter battery and charge your secondary battery. I have a Renogy 100 amp battery, 100 amp lithium battery. So this one has the lithium profile. So this particular charger can charge lithium batteries. This particular one from Redarc, the model number is, I believe, BCDC1225D. D actually stands for lithium profile. So this one has a couple of different profiles. So yeah, I have wired it the way lithium battery can absorb the charge safely, because lithiums are a bit hard to work with if you know about lithiums. Anyways, so that's the biggest thing. That's where I spend most money on. You can buy a bit cheaper brand, but I wanted to keep this for longer time, and then I spend the money on Redarc gears. The Australian made, very reliable, and absolutely phenomenal product. And then I have here a isolator, so I can isolate the entire circuit from the auxiliary battery, and I can turn on this system, which is my charging and all the other bits, the fridge and everything. And when I put into the number 2 position, it will actually turn on the inverter outlet. So I can run the inverter and this side of the circuit, or I can run inverter only, or I can run this side only. So I have that option with this particular isolator, or I can isolate everything if I'm leaving for a trip or whatever. If I'm flying somewhere, I'm leaving the car at home, I can just turn the entire system off. Alright, so here I have a 4 gantry switch. So this particular one connected to this side of the circuit, this one connected to this side of the circuit, and this one is, we have another 212 volts outlet here for my auxiliary lighting. I'll explain you about that in a minute. And this one is extra. I don't really have anything on it at the moment. And this is very important gadget as well. Really like Victron products, so I went ahead and actually bought a Victron Bluetooth enabled shunt. Can run about 500 amps, which is pretty nice in my books, and yeah, pretty happy with it. And on my left side, I have most of the outputs and some of the inputs. So this one dedicated to my fridge, and the next one is auxiliary one. I can use it for my, I don't have a travel buddy. If I do have one, I can use it for that, or whatever. Actually, it is rated to 30 amp, so I can draw up to 30 amp from these two collectively. And down here I have the solar input. Redarc DC to DC chargers, they have MPPT solar controls built into it, so that's a very amazing bonus. It's a small package, all jam-packed into one device, which is fantastic. So I can plug solar just right into it, and happy days. And this is very important. I should have done it in red, but this is the alternator input, which is your main battery coming to here, and then it will distribute through the DC to DC charger. So this is where you're going to plug your starter battery connection. And down here I've got a inverter output. So this one is fused through a massive fuse inside the box, which can run up to 80 amps, I believe, and I can run up to 80 watt 800 watt inverter. I do have a 600 watt inverter. It's a bit of an overkill, but if I had to upgrade to something like 800 watts, I can. But I have no idea of upgrading into 3000, 4000 amps inverters, because I reckon they're overrated, and I don't want to run a coffee machine out of my car at any given time, because I just predominantly want to charge the drones and the phones and then laptops and stuff like that. So 800 watt is more than enough in my books. Alright, so moving into the other side, this big thick cable, this is where I'm gonna plug my auxiliary battery, the lithium ion battery. And there is two 12 volts outlets. These are not really, I don't think you have seen this in most setups. So that's the beauty about creating a 12 volt system by yourself. So you can add whatever you want and you can customize it the way you want. And I have added these two and these two links to this particular switch, and I can run all my auxiliary lights on my car. So when I'm camping, if I can't really leave my room lights inside the car, I can plug into one of these two and run all the auxiliary lights around the car. So yeah, there is a few perks in there, and I've got here a 12 volt cigarette lighter outlet. I've got two of them, two banks actually. Let's call it left bank and the right bank. And I've got two USB 3.0 charging there. These ones are super fast, super quick, will charge your iPhone or Android device very fast. And I've got the same thing on the other bank as well. It's a pretty simple setup, very practical. If anything, I would add it a bit differently. Could be these ones. I would have been added a USB-C port, because USB-C is a bit popular at the moment. Yeah, so in a nutshell, it's pretty simple, really. And then this particular box, I've got it from Bunnings. If you're in Australia, this is called Pinnacle, I think, hardware. About $48 for this particular style case. They comes with these inserts. These ones, I took those off and using them as separate stuff to organize my tools and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty simple, straightforward. I'll run you through quickly inside as well. So let's say, yeah, it's pretty, look, it doesn't really open as is. It holds it. How good is that? And see, if you can see, it does not open all the way out without I'm actually opening it. So yeah, this is how it's look like inside. This is the massive 80 amp fuse, the main fuse of the system that I told you about, and this is the Victron 500 amp Bluetooth enabled shunt. Pretty fantastic. And this is my fuse box for the entire system. And yeah, it's pretty neat the way it turned out, to be honest. And I have mounted all these into a 10mm plywood board, and I painted that up as well. And yeah, so pretty happy with it actually. I will show you close-up videos, close-up clips in a bit. But yeah, pretty stoked with it. Done. My 12 volt system, the removable 12 volt system. If you have any question, just let me know so I can answer it via comment section or whatever. Just reach me out on my Instagram or YouTube. Predominantly those are the two medias that I'm using for interacting with people. And yeah, oh, also Amazon, eBay, Amazon, eBay. Actually, this one got it off from the marketplace. He got 2 of those, so as Christmas presents. Jaycar, pretty much everything. All the cables. Yeah. I can't really tell you how much did it cost because I haven't actually done the what do you call it? Haven't kept records about what I bought. I actually can go back and look for it, but it vastly depend on whatever the gears that you're putting on. So again, if you think this is helpful, and then if you wanted to go for it, and if you want to build something like this, I reckon you should do it. And if you screw up, I mean, well, you do it again. But I can't stress this enough. Don't wire any circuit without a fuse. If you don't have a fuse, don't do it. Go and get a fuse and then wire the circuit. And yeah, so on that note, I'm gonna get the hell out of here and stay safe out there. Take it easy on the road. Hooroo! See you later. Comment, like, and subscribe.